Not only I'm going to show you by step-by-step process how to outsource digital products, but also I'm going to show you a few hacks how to save a bunch of time and find the best talent, and also save a bunch of money as well. So the very first thing is, when exactly do we want to hire? So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to calculate your hourly rate, and if it's higher than VA or whoever you're hiring, then just hire right away. This is where I see a lot of people make the mistake. So for example, let's say your hourly rate is $20, the VA is $5. That means that you'll be able to get 4 times the amount of work done. And I do agree that perhaps you need to start out a little bit yourself, do the task once or twice yourself, but after that, just outsource. You're just going to get so much more work done. By the way, I'm going to leave a guide how I'm making thousands of dollars with less than 5,000 YouTube subscribers, and you can do the same. You're going to extend your time. And one thing here as well is that's important that a lot of people don't understand is that if you don't have enough tasks now to assign for someone full-time, you can always hire part-time, or you can set basically certain hours per week, or you can even go as far as just doing per project basis. Now, where exactly do you hire? And there's something very interesting about this, so bear with me. First of all, you have websites like onlinejobs.ph, Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, and I believe I have special discounts and bonuses for all of these recommendations, so check out the description. But there's one thing that's really important that a lot of people don't understand, and that is basically that if you use these platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, these platforms charge 20%, and you actually they don't tell you that they're charging 20% because they're not charging you directly 20%. What they do is it's being charged on the freelancers side. By the way, I created a database of best 100 digital product examples. Check out the description. So basically the platforms, they charge 20% for the freelancer, but obviously if the freelancer is going to pay 20%, then they just bump up their fees by 20% of the total project. And instead of this, what you can do, I'll leave the recommendation, you can hire a freelancer directly, and then you don't need to pay these 20% fees. You just pay directly, and that's it. So let me just show you a bit of math and you'll see how crazy this gets. So $1,000 project, basically you're paying $200 just for the platform 20%, and that can add up over time, and with a bunch of different people and all of that, that can add up to a lot of money, versus you can just pay $69 one-time fee, and you can actually hire even multiple people for this, and you will not have any other additional fees you're paying. The one thing I will say is that then you are working directly with the freelancer, but I'll show you later the different steps that you need to take that it's going to actually work. But I do have to say that the platforms, they do handle different issues. That's why partly you are paying the fees. And if you want, let's say, just like a small little gig done for you, and you know something very specific that you want done, then something like custom gigs on Fiverr, that can work pretty well as well. Now, super important part, what most people miss, and this is basically how do you get good freelancers. A lot of people, they try to outsource their digital products, and they really struggle, or they say, no, I need to create my digital product. Honestly, I've gotten so many digital products created for me, and it's not that difficult. You just need to do it the right way. You need to hire the right people. So the first thing is that you need to sell your job. So a lot of people think that, oh, if I just post, people apply for the job, I don't really need to think much about it. But this is why you don't get good digital products created for you. This is why you struggle, because you want to hire the top percent, the people that really stand out. They are the ones that can produce really good digital products. And in order to get that, you need to sell to them, because they are the hot commodity. A lot of people want to get them, so they're going to choose why should they go for your job rather than any other one. So be very clear on responsibilities. Tell them what they will learn. People like that, people who are outstanding, they like to learn new things. Tell them what are certain benefits working with you. For example, let's say flexible schedule. For me, my whole team, everyone I work with, I allow them to have flexible schedule. I allowed them, I'm open to different ideas. So I do have my SOPs and all of those type of things that people need to follow, but also I'm always open to have discussions, and these are just a couple of examples, some of the things that help you to sell your job and actually attract the best people. But there is another step, another few different things that you can do with your job posting that is going to take this to the next level. And by the way, I have this form where freelancers basically fill up this whole form, all of the different parts, and that makes my whole process so much easier and so much faster. I will leave all the information how you can get that in the description. But a couple of tips here as well. When you do your job posting, you want to show that you're a growing brand, especially if, let's say, you're a small company or even individual. You want to show to people why do they need to work with you. So if the freelancer sees that, okay, this is where you are right now, but you are growing really fast, then they can grow together with you, meaning they will get more responsibilities, they will enhance their skills, they will probably be able to make more money in the future, so on and so forth. No one wants to be just stagnant at the same place. The next thing where a lot of people make a mistake is you want to have specific title. So a lot of people, they will, let's say, I just want to find a designer for my digital product, and I will just write, okay, I want a designer, or I want like a virtual assistant that's going to be able to do the research, to do, you know, the design and all of that kind of stuff. If I put just virtual assistant, I'll get a ton of applications, but that's actually the opposite of what I want, because that's going to require me a lot of time to go through all of those different applications. So rather than that, I want to be as specific as possible. For example, virtual assistant for wellness e-commerce store. So now let's say if I am creating a product that's to do with wellness, I can find someone that's already interested in that niche, and they're going to be so much better when it comes to creating digital products or managing my business or whatever, you know, I am assigning to them exactly. And the last little thing I'm going to tell you is, rather than giving tasks, give people responsibilities. People like to feel important. So that's just one little tip to attract, again, good talent. Now, this is my system, how I go about hiring people, hiring or finding the best applicants. As I mentioned, I create this form where people fill in the form, and then it's very easy for me to scan through everyone. And basically from those forms, I create a list of the best applicants out there, basically just the top people that do stand out, and maybe put some notes why they stood out. I always look at their portfolio, especially when outsourcing for digital products. You just want to see, okay, what have they created before? It's so much better than just looking at someone's CV. And usually the way I do it within the form, usually I will have a small test task. So this is going to be just like 10-15 minutes, and that's it. It has to be very quick, but this is just going to give me a little bit of understanding, and it's very easy. When I see this, I can tell right away that, okay, someone is really not fit for this, or someone actually, okay, this person shows potential. It's just a huge time saver. And then basically what I will do is I have this time management software to do tests. So I will select 3 candidates and I give them exactly same task, or actually sometimes multiple different tasks, and see how they perform and how they compare to each other. And this is going to be already paid, so you will need to invest a little bit of money because you're paying same people for the same work, but it's going to pay off high in the long run, because you will then see, okay, who stands out the most, who has the best quality, the fastest time, all of that kind of stuff, and then I choose the top candidate. A few quick tips on working with a VA, or again, whoever you are hiring here. Basically, first of all, you definitely want to have some good project management software. So I will leave some links of what I use. Other tip is use TransferWise. They're called just Wise now. And again, actually I have a bonus link where they give you like extra free transfers, but the thing here is they have way better exchange rates, and also their transfer fees are way lower as well. And believe me, I compared it to a bunch of different banks in Europe and the States. They're so much better, they're so much cheaper, and because of that, you're going to be able to basically give more money to your employees. So it's another just little advantage that you can have. Another thing I like to do is, as I said, said, I give flexible schedule to all the people I work with, but I ask to have minimum amount of hours a day or a week that they are committed. So if there is some sort of emergency, I have agreed with my whole team that, okay, you are going to be available at least 1 or 2 hours just in case I need something done right now. And usually that's not the case. So usually you can, if you want to take one day off, just get stuff done by deadlines and that's it. And another thing is hire more than one freelancer, I would say, especially if you have a tight deadline, because things happen, people get sick, power goes out, whatever, people decide to just stop working with you. So if you have a couple of freelancers, if something happens with one, then you can just rely on another one. It can help out a lot, and you can actually also hire them part-time, so you just have 2 people just in case. And another last thing that helps a lot for me is have a list of recurring tasks. So let's say, depending on what kind of products you are creating, but let's say maybe there's recurring design tasks, or there's recurring research tasks, or whatever it is. So you have all of these recurring tasks, and you can just let people work on those when you are not really present. So let's say for me, sometimes I just decide, okay, I'm going to Sri Lanka to go surfing for a week. I'm not going to work this week. And instead of me now thinking, oh, I need to assign some work before I go, I can always know that, okay, all of my people, they have recurring tasks that they can fall back on, and they can just work on that. And when I'm active, when I'm creating, let's say, new digital products, then I will keep on assigning new active tasks that they need to do first, and then these are sort of like the backup recurring tasks. And just to discuss quickly some of the benefits, basically, when you are creating digital products, it requires a lot of time and effort. Outsourcing them basically just will allow you to scale much faster. You will not need to do all of the repetitive tasks yourself, and you can focus on the most important things on your business. And most of the time, that's actually maybe doing the marketing part rather than doing the whole creation of the digital products. So this is really the 80-20 principle. Focus on what really matters the most. And again, I will leave all of my recommendations, all of the special discounts, tools, whatever, everything down below in the description.